Okay, this is what we had done, right? Correct? Created. So is everybody now familiar with the at least the IP addressing structure? And this much can everybody do, right? That means you can take up the router switches, PCs, connect them with the cables, and give the IP addresses to interfaces. Yes or no? And also configure RIP, and also check, verify the routing table. Who can do it? I need feedbacks. Yes or no? Don't worry. Don't worry saying no, I am not comfortable, right? I am not still. I haven't practiced. Don't worry about all these things. This is only a class, friendly class, not an exam or interview, right? So here we got to learn and do it again and again.
I have not practiced at DJ yet. I was not able to access the recordings.
Okay, Karthik. So, but you have packet tracer with you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. And can you make the topology? At least connect
Yes,
the
yes,
cables?
yes, yes.
You can.
I'm
So,
talking about the CLI commands. I've not practiced that.
that's okay. So, but do you know how to give how to enable a port and how to give an IP address?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, how can you tell me? And tell us like this only. Supposing this is an interview going on. So now we have this router here. Let's say the left one, extreme left. That's R1, right? And we want
Yeah.
to assume all the ports are disabled. Or just tell me about this port, gigabit 001. It's red, right? So
Yeah.
how will you enable this and how will you give this IP address and this subnet mask to this interface? So you can tell me by
I will.
user mode, I'll give this command, right?
I need to check the commands first.
Okay. So check the commands means what? What will you do?
I mean, the commands you shared,
Okay.
because I don't have it
Okay. Forget everything else.
joined by
Just tell me how will you enable this port and how will you give an IP address? When I say IP address, it includes a subnet mask also. That's it. Only two
EN,
things.
EN in user mode. That goes to privileged mode
Okay, why are you telling me EN?
or enable.
Ah, but tell me enable,
Yeah.
right? Don't be so miser. Okay. So don't copy my EN there. Go in the interview, tell them user mode, enable command. Don't tell them
Okay.
EM, right? If he's in a bad mood, then he will get angry. Right? You know what the command is, right? EN is only a
yeah.
short. So what do you tell to the interview guy? He already has a fight with his wife, right? In the morning, he had a fight, and now he's taking an interview in the afternoon. What are you going to tell him?
First in the user mode, we type enable,
Correct? And
and then from enable mode, we get to configure mode,
we go to which mode?
global mode. Sorry,
Which mode?
global,
Is
which
this
is the
global
privilege
mode?
mode. Sorry,
Is
sorry.
this
We go to the privilege mode,
correct? Privilege mode, also known as enabled mode, right? Or enable mode, whatever. Good. And then,
and then we type in configure terminal.
correct. Configure terminal or conft for short. But we'll say conft or configure terminal, both is okay.
Okay, and then we type host name R1.
No, no, no. I don't want that. I just give you two tasks. I don't want to change those name. Let it be on default. What
Okay,
did the interview guy tell you? He has given you a router with a port which is disabled and there's no IP address. And he wants you to give you this IP address. So you said we'll go to user mode, enable privilege mode, configure terminal. We come to the global mode or config mode. Now what?
IP add, IP and MAC
Again,
address.
IP add. Why IP add? It is IP address.
Oh, okay, fine.
It's okay. I mean, you say IP add also, that is also okay. Because that guy, right, he's an old horse. He knows what you're talking about. But we'll not say IP add. We'll say
Okay.
what?
IP address.
Correct. Are you going to type your IP address? And then what? Supposing I want to give this IP address and this subnet mask. So what will you do? You'll
So
type
just
your
give
one dot
the
one dot one dot one
address and then
and then the and
MAC
then the
address.
this is not the MAC address. This is which address?
Subnet.
Correct.
subnet,
This is subnet.
subnet,
Subnet what?
subnet mask.
Correct. Not subnet address, subnet mask. Okay. This is known as the IP address. This is known as the subnet mask. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because talking in the right terminology is also very, very important, isn't it? Though we may mean the right things, but using the right terminology is very important, especially in the interview or anywhere, right? Professional life. Okay. But is this correct, guys? Everybody? Yes or no?
So we have to go into the interface also first.
So this won't work. So this is wrong,
No, I
isn't
was
it?
just trying on this packet as packet
Hmm.
tracer.
So don't worry. This is the first preliminary classes, right? Just 3, 4 classes. By the end of a week, by the end of 10 days, by the end of 15 days, by the end of 20 days, 30 days, will you not be very, very, confident regarding these things only, tidbits? Is it not? A, B, C, D, E, right? On day one is going to be difficult. But same KG class, A, B, C, D after 5 days, are the kids not going to be comfortable after a month? Right? If you keep on repeating ABCD, ABCD, and of course going a bit ahead also. But I'm sure you people will gain more confidence. Is every day your confidence coming up or not? It may not come up. I don't give any guarantees. But by the end of the course, you should be happy. One thing I can tell you, right? I can't say what will happen after how better you feel after 5 days or 10 days or 15 days. But end of the course, everything should be okay. Okay, so no, we are not going to give IP
You
address.
won't
It
you won't
won't
give
take.
interface VLAN?
Yeah. Interface.
VLAN 1,
Is this a switcher or router?
the
The
router.
router.
So interface VLAN when we say on the switch, not on the
Oh, on
router.
your switch.
So what do we say here? Press the
We have to
question mark
mention
there.
interface and then the interface name.
So I have given it here, see,
GIG
gigabit
0
000,
slash 0
right?
or say
Interface,
GIG 0.
gigabit. You can just type here like this also, no problem. Now it is under the interface mode. Now what? Now,
No step.
We have to give the IP address.
correct. So now you can give this command here, right? IP address, whatever IP address the interviewer wants you to give or the exam wants you to give, and whatever subnet mask, right? This is only a demo. And after this, what? That's it? Anything else? Anything else?
No shut.
No shut.
Correct, correct. Very, very important. No shut,
No shutdown.
right? No shut or no shutdown. Correct. That's right. Right?
So we
No
have to
shut.
check whether the IP address has been assigned. What is the
Yeah.
command?
If you want to verify, how will you verify whether the interface is enabled or not? And how will you verify the IP address given to the port? What's the command? So
IP route. Is it IP route?
show
Show
IP,
interface brief.
show IP
IP brief.
IP route.
interface brief. Right? This is one command. Second command can be show interface. INT is also okay, right? You don't have to type the whole thing. Show interface, whichever port it is, right? This is second command. Lastly, you can also say show run. Correct? So let me show you the practical now. So look,
So
what do we do?
show IP interface was not working. So
Show IP interface brief.
brief. I mentioned that, but it
Huh.
was
Yeah, you
giving some
mentioned it
lag.
in the early stage, I think.
I mentioned it at the IF level, IF
Okay.
interface.
Do show IP?
Maybe I have to come out of it.
No, you don't have to. But you have to first give what? See,
If it is
do
interface
do show
R1
IP
config,
interface brief. Look, I don't know which interfaces, right? We have, let's say, because it's a alien router to me. Exam may have some, right? Some of the old routers may have only gigabit 0 oblique 0. You get my point? Some of the old routers may not have interface gigabit 0 oblique 0 oblique 0. Some of the old routers may have only gigabit 0. Right? For example, I'm just giving a demo. Some of the routers may have only gigabit 0 oblique 0. Some of the routers may have gigabit 0 oblique 0 oblique 0. Right? So you got to be careful. You get my point? So I don't know what router, what series, what model he's talking about the examiner, the interview. So I give this command to find out. Right? If it's an old router, it can be interface fast. It could have been interface Ethernet 0 also, or interface fast Ethernet. I just type interface F. right? F 0 or 0/0, right? Or like this, fast thread, same thing, 0/0/0. So only 1, 2, or 3. And I'll explain you what these are. So, but it depends. Older routers will have these ones, right? Very old ones. Older can have these ones. Newer will have this one, right? Something oblique something, oblique something. So therefore, to find out what it is, you get it? I have to first find out, give this command or show run command, whatever. So what did I give here? Swipe interface brief. Now I know. Okay. So if you want to remove the IP address and shut it down, I'll again go on the port. I can type G and tab, right? But look, I am again removing that whole command. And you can give a space and type 0/0/0. 0/0/0. Or you may not give a space and type. If it doesn't take this way, do give a space between gigabit and 000. Here it is taking. Had it not taken, then you get my point. Small things here. Had it not taken, then we would have given a gap here. Got it? See, both ways it is taking you there. And I have to say no shut. And then I have to give an IP address, right? Whatever you want to give, you can give it. Okay. So if I want to remove it, I can say no shut. Sorry, if I want to remove, I'll say no IP address. And if I want to shut it down, I'll say shut down. Right? So now do show IP interface brief. See, back to default settings. Right? This is R1. Of course, host name. I mean, you get my point. Interviewer didn't ask you to give the host name, but because you got used to what I keep on doing here every day, right? I showed you 3-4 times. User mode enable, privilege mode config T, global mode. First, I give the host name, right? But interviewer asked specifically only enable this port and give an IP address, right? He didn't ask you to give the host name. Anyway, giving a host name is not a crime, but I hope you get my point, right? Don't worry, this is the very beginning, right? You people are very fresh. So we want to give here what? Gigabit 000 is 10.1.1. Okay. So now we have nothing here. And all of them are. So if I'm not sure which port is this, then I can again type interface gigabit 0/0/0. I could have typed exit, gone to the global mode and again typed it, right? Or from here only I can type. Now I can say no, shut. And the IP address is okay, done. Up arrow, up arrow, up arrow. I want to give 21.1 to the other port. Remember? Up arrow, up arrow. I'll make this 21.1.1. So save time. And of course, up arrow, up arrow, up arrow, or you could have just typed no shut. Done. Now, at least we have 10.1.1 on here, 21 on here. But because these ports are shut down, so this is also read. So we'll go here, gigabit 0, give 21.1.2. And first, you want to save this. If you want to save this, we'll save this. What is the command to save? The commands from RAM to NVRAM, right? Or temporary memory to permanent memory. Yes. Who can tell me the command?
WR.
WR.
Correct. If I type here WR, it doesn't take. But if I
Right.
type here
WR.
exit and again exit, so I typed here exit twice. I could have just pressed here Control Z or end, or I would have typed exit. I would have straight away come here, right? No need of typing exit twice. Now I can type here right, right? That's it. WR stands for right. Alternatively, copy, run, start, right? So I just type normally copy, run, start, not even running dash config and startup dash config. Why so much? Okay, so now it has saved from where to where? Who can tell me? It has saved the commands from where to where? Internal components of the router only, but where to where? Which memory to which memory? Yes,
RAM to NVRAM.
correct.
NVRAM.
Wonderful. From the RAM to NVRAM,
NVRAM.
right? See, you guys are catching up things, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, congratulations, doing good. Just relax and stay with me. right?
So
We'll
at the user level, we can write do the write command as
user.
well. At
I
the
don't
user
think.
level,
I don't know. See, I just type WN without a space, or otherwise, if I type this, so A to Z, it will display all the commands. So best way was there's no
okay, it
command
is not.
beginning with WC, isn't it? So from the user mode, we couldn't have. So from the privilege mode, we have. But from the global mode, if I type here WR and if I press tab, see, it doesn't work. Tab doesn't complete. Huh? It works only on the privilege mode, not here. Okay. And write also doesn't work. So what do I do? I have to type here do first and then see if I press tab also, it doesn't work. Right? But if I press enter, it will execute the command because it has become unique. You're getting the point, everybody? Understanding? समझ में आ रहा है? From the interface mode also, if you type here WR, it won't work. So what do you have to do? Do WR. Again, tab won't work. So, but because write do WR has become unique, so it is saved, right? It's executing the command for you. समझ में आ रहा है दोस्तों, everybody? Yes. So now we have saved also on R1. Let's go on R2. And here in the software, not in the real life or exam, look, I can just check this, right? I just kept my cursor there and I removed my hands from the keyboard only. I can see all the three physical ports and one logical port. VLAN 1, of course, we are not concerned on the router. VLAN will be more concerned on the switch, right? Later on. Okay, so no address, and because of red, I'm not color blind, so I can see red. So, right, be smart enough to also observe what color is it, green or red. If you see red, immediately it should strike that, oh man, this some of the port, either this one or both are disabled. Either this one or that one or both. Now, this case, both of these are disabled. This is also. Sorry, no, not this one. This will come up automatically. This one, and of course this one. This we have said no shut right now. So let's go on gigabit 0 and give to 2112, right? Interface gigabit 0. 0 means 000. Enable. Configure terminal. Interface. Okay, now I would like to also set a host name. R2, right? Interface gigabit 0. No shut. IP address. What is it, guys? 20.1.1.2. Subnet mask, we are keeping all 222.550, which means /24. And don't worry about IP address and subnet mask. I'll explain that later on. Okay, gigabit 0 is 21.1.2. Now let's go up arrow, up arrow, up arrow. Gigabit 1, 001. Up arrow, say one time. This should be 31.1, right? So make sure you don't commit mistakes here, right? While giving the IP addresses. Up arrow, no shut. Done. So now check. Hopefully things should be okay. This is gigabit 0 is on the left. Is it 21.2? Correct. /24? Correct. And gigabit 1, 31.1? No mistakes here, right? Okay. So now, good. I can say now do WR. So next time we don't have to do all these things, right? Okay. Now we go here. This is not the right way. I mean, of course, here we can manage, not an issue. But in the exam or real company, show IP interface in the software, right? In the CLI. So, okay. So now we know this is to be R3. This is R3. Gigabit 0 goes in the LAN, so 41.1. Gigabit 1, the other way around, 31.12, right? Whatever. So please write down on a piece of paper all these things, right? And don't commit mistakes when you configure it. Okay. With practice, things will be better off. Hostname, R3. HO also works, right? Interface, gigabit 001 is going towards the router R2, right? That is, sorry, no shut. And what's the IP address? It is 30.1.1.2, right? And now gigabit 0 goes in the LAN. So this is 41.1, no shut, and 41.1.1, correct? and then do WR. Now check like this. This orange will become green in 30 seconds, right? So it must be 10 seconds, whatever, 5, 10 seconds. It will take its time. 30, and I explained that also why it takes 30 seconds, but that's part of switching, right? So look, router, is it okay? Gigabit 000 going towards the switch. Look, it has become green now. The switch port also in 30 seconds. 4101/24, correct. And gigabit 1 on the left connected towards with R2 is 3112. ठीक है? Make sure you don't commit mistakes here. By mistake, if you give 40 here and 30 there, the things won't work, right? Or anything like this. By mistake, if you give 20 here and 30 here, it won't work. So all these are in 10. Opposite ones are in the same network or subnet, 2020. Rather 21 something something. And these are in also 31 something something. And these are all in 41 somethings, right? Now, if we check the routing table, do show IP route. Do show IP route or route. So we have only CL, connected local, correct? So R1 has got no idea about 30 and 40 networks. Is it right? This guy has got only idea about 10 and 20, it knows. This guy knows only about 20 and 30, it has got no idea about the remote networks, 10 and 40. This guy has got only idea about 30 and 40, it has got no idea about 10 and 20, correct? So what do? We just for the sake of example, we configured a simple routing protocol known as RIP on all the 3 routers. So I have to look only at my interface. My interfaces begin with only 10 and 20, right? And I'll tell you more about this. So here we go on the global mode. So look, as a result, what happens? If you go on this PC and ping on this PC, does it have an IP address? No. So that means I didn't save this. We go to desktop, give here an IP address of 4113. 4113. Subnet mask, same. And default gateway will be 40.1.1.1, right? The router's Ethernet port, gigabit Ethernet port, under which we are connected, hanging, right? This guy is 41.1. So this guy's default gateway, this guy's default gateway is 41.1. This, how do you give a default gateway on the switch? Look at this. Let's verify first. Show run, right? Building configuration, ... Current configuration, blah, blah, blah. IS version, blah, 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 right? No. Some commands are disabled. I'll explain this later on. Host name, default is switch. We'll give it later on switch 1. Some more commands here. And ports, right? So 9th port, I can press space bar. So 9 to, it is showing me till 20, right? Enter, 1 line. Tab means break, and space means it will complete. Still show you more commands. Again, more. Again, I can press once more space, end of it, right? So we give a command, show run, right? Show running config. So these are all the commands coming from the factory by default, right? Showing you the whatever interfaces I got. So 24 fast Ethernet ports, 2 physical gigabit Ethernet ports, 26 of them physical and 1 logical port, right? Okay. And we have this console port, and I'll explain you this VTY 0 to 4 and 5 to 15, right? They're logical ports, 0 to 15. There are 16 ports. Just that it's like patches, right? It's not showing 0 to 15. But when we give the command, we'll type line VTY 0 space 15. So there it will cover all the 16 ports. Port number 0 to 15 is 16 ports. Okay. But they are telnet ports, and I'll tell you what this telnet is, right? And end. Okay. Privilege mode, configure, terminal. Host name, I want to give capital SW2, right? And interface VLAN 1, right? The layer 2 switch. So we give IP address only to this logical port. This is the management port, right? Not any of the physical ports. Because this is a layer 2 switch. It will do only switching, not routing. So we'll type here interface VLAN. Remember this switch, right? And what IP address do you want to give? IP address. So we wanted to give perhaps 10.1.1. Sorry, 40.1.1.2. And same our old 222.550. And if you want to set a default gateway, right? Default gateway, is to be given only on the switch, not on the router. So we'll go on the global mode here and say, if I get a packet from anywhere, I got to pass it on to this guy only to send out of this network, correct? So we'll go on the global mode and set the default gateway as 41 on 1. That is, this router's this interface, gigabit 000 41 on 1, correct? Very simple command. Go on the global mode and just type IP DE tab default gateway. What is that? 40.1.1.1. We don't have to type the subnet mask. It's presumed that this guy and me, we are in the same subnet, right? Okay. This is how we give default gateway. Let's go on the switch one and give default gateway of 10.1.1. So default gateway means only way out of this network, right? Default gateway. Enable, configure terminal, host name, capital SW1. You can give host name as monkey, donkey, whatever you want, right? And IP address, interface, VLAN 1. No shut, or IP address before or no shut later or whatever. So sequence is not important. This is what 10.1.1.2. And of course, 22255.0, just an example. And if I want to set the default gateway, I'll come to the global mode by typing exit and I'll type IP default gateway 10.1.1.1. Subnet mask is not required. Okay. So if you just type like this and enter, then it will say, man, incomplete command. That means we have to give something after this also, correct? So if I press a question mark, it will tell me in this format ABCD, A dot B dot C. You have to type the IP address of the default gateway, which is what, in our case, 10.1, correct? And IP address we have given to the switch is 10.1.2, but the default gateway is of the router's interface, right? This so much understood, guys, till this point? Yes or no? Everybody?
Sir, what was the command to see the IP route that we configured on the router interface?
To see the router interface.
To see the IP address that we have configured on the
One
router.
is show IP interface brief. One is.
Okay.
So one command is look.
Yes.
So if I'm at the privileged mode, so I'll just type show IP interface brief. But here I have to type do this understood, right? Do show IP
Yes.
interface brief. So look, is it okay? One command. Second
Yes.
command is do show interface, a specific interface or port. Do show interface. Now we can say this is up and up. See that? And we can read the IP address and subnet mask here in the third or fourth line. Got it? Yes or no? Right?
Yes.
Good. And the third command can be finally do show run. Right? So, but here it will be like this. So you'll have to come down and scroll. Okay? Okay. Yes or no? You can type here do show run pipe section interface gigabit 000 also. Does it work? It should work, I think. Interface gigabit section. It should work, I think. It will show you only that particular thing, right? Let's say show run. I normally don't use all these things, but you should know it. It will have include or begin or section, right? So you can say begin interface. Okay, begin gigabit. Does it work? Then I have to type here gigabit 000. Does it work? It should show me something, right? It should show me only that much part, right? Begin. If it will begin and it should show me all the remaining things also, but I don't want that. I want only section. right? So I just type S also, then also it should show. So I think this also works on the real router, but it should work, right? Just check your books whenever you go there. So it will show you only which part. If you say show run pipe section and then gigabit 00, so it will show you only this part, like only this much. This section.
Okay.
Got it? Only this much, not the whole show run. Okay, on the real router. Okay. So, okay,
So
now what more?
that's one question.
All your
That's one
doubts
question.
cleared?
So on my end, I have configured the interface.
Hmm.
When I'm putting the command show IP interface brief, for
Hmm.
the protocol, it is showing as down. What does that? Status is up, but the protocol is.
That's because maybe this port here said no shut, but this is still shut down. Got it? Both are red.
Okay.
Check. Are both red in color?
At this time, yes, at this time it is both are red.
Hmm. So you may have said no shut here, and this is still shut down. Get the point?
Okay.
Or the other way around. You may not have said no shut here, but you may have said no shut here, but this is still shut down. Either of the two. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And you can also feel free to share your screen, right? In case.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. So now what? So far, so good. So now what? This is what at least we have given the IPs here now, 4113. Correct? Let's go and ping from here. Does it ping 4113? Let's check connectivity end to end, right? So we go under this command prompt and give a command ping. Ping is a command. It's a tool, it's a utility to find out connectivity between any two devices. So that means between me and that now remote PC. Who's that? 41.1, 41.1.3. Correct? So look, it is not reachable. So now to troubleshoot, what do? We give a command tracert, right? Traceroute. From the router, we'll give traceroute, TRACROUTE, router or switch. But on the PC, we'll give tracert. So it will tell us up to what point the connectivity is there, right? 40.1.1.3. So look, PC, we are on the PC. It went to the first of its default gateway. See that? After that, it doesn't know how to go to 40.1.1.1.3. Do you understand this tracert command? It's used for troubleshooting. Now look, okay, remember the tracert command. Traceroute, why? Because we haven't configured dynamic routing protocols only, right? RIP. So show IP protocols. Look, this RIP and all this should come after a month, right? Not on the day 4 day. But I hope that is not belittling your understanding, right? It is not making you any scared. Configure terminal, router RIP, and this routing protocol is not at all in the course, right? Nobody in the world will do configure RIP right here. And we type your network. So I just type here NET also. Now we know we have only 10 and 20. So I'll just type major network 10.0.0.0. And don't worry, I'll explain the meaning of major also later on. That means I'm not typing 10.100 or 10.110 or 10.111. It's a class A IP address. And don't worry if you don't know anything. We'll look at IP addressing. This is a class A IP address. We have class A and B and C and D and A. And I'll explain everything later on. Don't worry. Okay. And the second interface has got IP address beginning with 20. That's it. So make sure you don't type here 30 and 40 also. Right? And here we go and type router IP and network 20.000 and 30.000 also. And not 10 and 40 because they are not connected on me. Here we just type 30 and 40, not 10 and 20. Is this clear, guys? Everybody? Show IP protocols, nothing here. Show IP route. Routing table will show you only connected. CL 20 and 30. Right? Now, I hope nobody has got confusion regarding how to read this routing table. Yes or no? Of course, I haven't explained you all these things, but I only told you about C means directly connected. L means local. And R means it has discovered a remote network through this dynamic routing protocol known as RIP, whose full form is Routing Information Protocol, but it is not in your course. EIGRP is again a dynamic routing protocol. It's not in your course. But OSPF is the only protocol, dynamic routing protocol, which is there in your course. Open shortest path first. So when we do this, instead of we configure OSPF on all the three routers, and it will discover remote networks like the 10 and 40. And instead of R, it will show you there O, because we have only OSPF in our course, right? Nothing else. But don't worry. Okay, now what do? We configure. Go to the global mode and just type router RIP. Come to the router mode, under the router mode and type network 20.000 and network 30.000. That's it. Done. R2 done. Okay, now we go in R3 and type 30 and 40. That's it. Router RIP. Enable. Show IP route. It knows only about 30 and 40. Let's configure RIP. RIP. Network 30 and network 40. Done, guys. Child's play. Do show IP route. It will take 30 seconds to exchange. Within 30 seconds, right? It will exchange. So now here we'll see, apart from CL, 10 and 20 also through RIP, right? 10 dot and 20 dot. Look, 30 seconds, right? It has discovered this one. And it says if I get a packet from anywhere whose destination is 10 dot something, I'll forward from my gigabit 1 port. Is it correct? What does this guy say? If I get a packet from, let's say, from my right for 10 dot anything, I'll forward from my gigabit 1 port. Is it correct? And send it to whom? 3111. Because who sent me this update? 3111 had sent me this update. And I had received this routing table update on my gigabit 001 port. So, if I get a packet, let's say from my right for 10 dots anything, I will forward from my which port? Gigabit 1. And I will send it to whom? 3111. Okay. And other things I'll explain you all these things later on, not today. Okay. Likewise, 20 also. I'll forward from my gigabit 1 port. If I get a packet from my right or anywhere for 20 something, okay, and I'll send it to this guy via 3111. So what is this guy telling? R3. This is 40. This is gigabit 1. 3111. Correct? It says if I get a packet for 10 dot, that means here or wherever. Here. I'm going to forward from my gigabit 1. But if we had a switch here and multiple routers here, this would have been 3112. This could have been 3113. You get my point? So I'm not going to send it to 3112 or 3113. I'm going to send it to 3111 only. Because he's the one who had sent me this routing table update about 10 network and 20. Yes, guys. Okay. So now we have all the 4 in our routing table, 10, 20, 30, 40. Yes. So now the PC should be able to ping each other. Very easy. Child's play. Look, first up, it will tell you only about layer 3 devices. That means routers. First, it sent it to whom? The PC. Packet for 4113, it sent it to its default gateway. Who is what? Which is 10111. Correct? So the PC first sent it to whom? Packet meant for this guy. It first sent it to its default gateway. That's the layer 3 router. First hop, 10111. After that, it sent it to this guy, 2112. After that, it sent it to 3112 and then to 4113. Is it clear, guys? 10.1.1, 20.1.1.2, 30.1.1.2, and destination. Look, it sent it to whom? First 10.1.1, then second hop 21.1.2, third hop router in between 31.1.2, and finally destination 41 to the PC. Got it? Now look, even if you make the topology like this, like what? No. So even if we have a topology like this, layer 2 switch, R1, 10, 1, 1, 1. Even if we have a layer 2 switch, 21 on 1, 21 1, 10, 21 1, 2. Again, if you have a layer 2 switch, 30, 1, 1, 1, 31 1, 2, 31 1, 50, or 10, whatever. So R1, R2, R3, right? So like this. If you give a traceroute command, first it will show this one and not this one. Got it? Because this is 10 1 1 3. So not this layer 2 switch. Directly layer 3 device. Not this. First hop. Second hop. It will not show this. Right? Not 20.1.1.10. But 21.1.2. Only routers, right? 21.1.2. Third hop, not this one. 31.50, but 31.1.2. And finally, the destination. Yes, guys. समझ में आ रहा है? Understanding? Everybody? Yes or no? Easy?
It only shows default gateway.
The default gateway is only here. What about this one? This is not a default gateway. This is not a default gateway. Isn't it?
Okay.
Now, let me remove a cable here. Okay. Troubleshooting, na? Let me remove a cable here. Gone. Now you go and ping from here that PC. Will it ping 41 on 3? Yes or no? Will it ping 41 on 3? Obviously it
No.
won't. Barabar? Correct?
Yeah.
So how do you troubleshoot? There may be 100 routers in between, right? There could have been hundreds of routers in between. What do you do? See? That means what? Connection is good. Okay, till which point? Now you get some idea? Till
Yeah.
21.1.2 we can reach. After that, there seems to be some problem. Get it? So ping, telnet, traceroute, these are all troubleshooting commands. Understood? The network is not working. We try this. So 21.1.2 is which one? See? Till this point, everything is okay. After that, it says, man, I don't know. So at least we get some idea. Correct? Tracert command, tracert. But from router, we give traceroute command, not tracert. Here, T, see, you have traceroute command. You can, there are three commands beginning with T, telnet, terminal, and traceroute. So if you give like this, so from A to Z, it will show you, right? So you can give a command tr tab traceroute 40.1.1.3. So again, now it says till 21.1.2 is okay. After that, host unreachable, right? You get the point. The commands are slightly different. So it says till 21.2 I can reach. After that, I can't reach the host. Okay. So once again, I'll connect the cable, take auto cable and join them. So because gigabit 0 is already there, gigabit 1 it took, gigabit 1 it took, gigabit 0 is already there. Okay. So now, yes, guys, little bit basics we have done with it. Yeah. Now, where is our TOC? Table of content. You have the TOC with you guys?
Yeah.
Here. I would like to have a bigger font. Okay. So whatever we have done, we'll keep on striking. So can I remove this? Have we done this? First, we took one switch and two PCs in the same network and we pinged from here to there, right? Then we took a router and on both interfaces, we connected one switch and below them, we connected one PCs, both in different networks, right? But there was only one router. And now we have taken multiple routers. Okay. Have we done this?
Yeah.
So I can strike this off, right? I can strike it off. Okay. Now let me give you more introduction to housekeeping commands. Okay. And then we'll slowly and steadily cover up, keep going like this, right? So a lot of things. And we'll complete the whole things. Then we'll say the whole course is complete, right? But believe me, you'll enjoy this course. We'll do a lot of theory and a lot of practicals, all lot of, right? Nothing less. So you must be having my housekeeping commands also, right? Do you have that? Housekeeping commands. I have shared this
Yeah.
file with you. Router
Yes,
housekeeping
yes,
commands, right? Okay, this one.
yes.
So man, how come the font has become smaller? I don't know. Anyway, so I'll keep it a bit bigger, easy to read. And of course, Control A, I'll say unselect all, uncross all, right? Okay. So are we comfortable with this, guys?
Yes, yes.
So I'll strike it off. That means we have covered this, right? And what will happen after this? What will happen after this? Who can tell me? You have given this command. What should happen here?
It should become as R1 config
Correct.
hash.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
This should become R1. That's it. Okay. Great. Wonderful. So simple thing, see? Now, let me show you we'll take up all these commands. I've given different colors, which means what? This command has got nothing to do with the blue command, right? The blue command has got nothing to do with the above green or the below red ones. Now, but all these red ones are connected, right? They are a set of, let's say, within one family, right? They are related to each other. Again, the blue ones is a family. That means we'll go under the console port and give all these commands. But the blue ones have got nothing to do with the red commands because they are under line auxiliary port 0. Likewise, right? Console is different. Auxiliary port is different. Both are physical. And this VTY is logical port. So green has got nothing to do with the blue ones. Got it? So therefore, I have given here different colors also. But you should understand the logic, right? Okay, now let me open the router. Where is it? Here. Now wait, I'll cancel this. I'll delete this. You know how to delete this, right? Delete. Escape or go and press here on the rectangle above. Select one, right? This one. How about this logical thing? Logical. Physical. Okay. Just play with this software, right? And you can get into simulation mode also, right? But I don't fiddle with all these things. And in the exam, all these things are not important. You have to give CLI commands only. So I'm going to take a new router here, right? Click on it, CLI. So look, What happened? One sec. Let me delete this router. Again, escape. Again, let me click on here. Let me pull a router from here. Turn it on. Just click on it. So it should be booting up. Why is it not booting up? I never seen this before. It should boot up, no? What? I have never seen this before. Is it hanging or what? I'm not sure. Never witnessed anything like this before. But wait a sec. We'll see what it is. Okay, I hope we have saved everything, right? Now I'd like to save this topology. This is already saved, right? So I'll say open a new one. And do you want to save? Yes. Okay. Now I'll just pull a router here. Let's see. Okay. Maybe. So you got to have at least 4 GB of RAM, right? So look, it started from here, initializing hardware, right? Checking for PCI of this booting up sequence there. We are not concerned with everything, right? Every single word and sentence here. But this is where it has booted up. Now this is on the factory default. So right, dash 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 system configuration dialog. That means it is asking us to enter setup mode, right? Would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? Yes or no? In the real life, we say no, right? I am typing here N, that's okay, and enter. So now you know, right? It said press return and we are at a user mode, right? Rest you know. Now look here, enable, show run. Now let's explore all these commands, right? What happened? Show run. Building configuration current configuration blah blah blah, iOS version blah blah blah. When I had started, got into CCNA in the year 2001, right? The iOS version was 10.3. Then after a couple of years or whatever, it was 11.2, then 11.3, right? Something like this. Then 12.0, 12.1, 12.2, 12.3, 12.4, then 15.0, 15 point blah blah blah, then 16 points. So the versions keep on changing. So almost 2 decades now. And look, some commands are there. Service, they are disabled, right? No, coming from the factory only. No service timestamps, blah, blah, blah. Log, datetime MSEC. I'll explain later on, right? Okay, and no service timestamps, debug, datetime MSEC. Okay, Karthik is writing. Okay, good. No service password encryption. Hostname is default router, right? Okay. IPsec is enabled. I'll tell you Ceph, Cisco Express Forwarding. But for V6, Ceph is disabled, okay? And spanning tree mode, PBST, I'll tell you this when we get into switching. This is a per VLAN spanning tree. This is a protocol that's used on the switches to avoid loops automatically. It works automatically. It's enabled automatically, right? But we'll explore that later on. Some physical port, gigabit 000. Look, it has got no IP address. Duplex and speed are in the auto mode, and the port is disabled from the factory only. Likewise, other ports, gigabit 1 and gigabit 2 also. And there's a virtual or logical port, interface VLAN 1, right? Now, VLAN, this was never on the router. It was only on the switch. But because we have a router here, obviously it's a router, right? We know it's a router because we have pulled this one router, right? Zoom in, okay. So we know these 3 gigabit Ethernet ports are here. Console ports are here. I told you this before, right? Auxiliary port. And telnet ports are logical. So you got 0 to 4 logical telnet ports, right? That means logical ports. See, that they are used for remote management. Sorry, where are we? They are used for remote management, which means what? One company. This course is known as, it is more of intra network course, right? That means one company, head office, branch office. R1, headquarters, India, right? Or whatever you want, Delhi or whatever. And we got branches, Australia, UK, right? London, whatever, right? Sydney, Melbourne, right? And Singapore, whatever, Japan. So actually, I should not be drawing this electric signal. That was meant for the older ones, serial ports. So presume they're all straight Ethernet cables, right? Ethernet ports. And presume below you have many switches and many end users or maybe servers. I'm here in the head office, right? So I'm the admin guy here. So maybe I'm connected on the console here, console port, and have a laptop, right? So I can see here R1 like this. So I can tell it into UK router or this switch or this server, whatever device you want, right? I can, provided connection is there, connectivity, right? And because these routers have got some logical ports inside. Switches have got 0 to 15 ports, 16 ports, right? Logical. They are known as VTY ports. So for remote management, remote administration, right? I can tell it into this device, and on my laptop screen, right now, what do I see? R1 user mode. I give a command here, telnet. Let's say this IP address 201 dot blah 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 blah, right? Right? Blah 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 blah. And then if connection is there, it will ask me for a password. I am not getting up from my chair here. I'm sitting on the chair only. But I am practically into this now, router or switch, whatever it is. So it's asking for a password. Let's say I've given a password CCNA. Now on my screen, I am seeing what? UK. Or you can call this UK router or R2 router. Are you getting it? Now what do I see here? Whatever the host name of that router is, if it's UK, it will show you UK like this. Or R2, R2. Then I'll give a command enable. It will again ask for a password. And I'll tell you what this password is. Understood, guys? Telnet. So remote management. After getting into this, after giving the second password also, let's say it's monkey donkey, I will see here without getting up from my chair in India, I'm into UK's router R2. Now I am in the privilege mode. Now I can do whatever I used to do here. Configure terminal, and I can change the hostname to from R2 to monkey donkey. Got it? That guy's hostname will be changed to monkey donkey. Or I can just view command show run. So I can check all its running config. You get the point? This is telnet, right? But why do we have it on the router? Sorry, we have telnet ports on router as well as switches. They are logical ports. They are not physical, right? But console ports are physical. Auxiliary port is physical. Gigabit 0000001 002. They are all physical. Now look, power on off. And the first one is NIM network interface module 2T selected already. 2T is already selected. These are old ones, serial port. We have two serial ports here, right? They were the old ones, serial point-to-point connection. We used that cable from this router's this port, one port, used to go to ISP. Another port could have gone to another ISP or same ISP, whatever. But that was the WAN connection. That's very old story, right? Gone. Sorry, I got a bit of cold and cough now, developed only recently, yesterday. So I have to mute myself and cough or sip some water in between.
Oops.
Okay, thank you for your patience and understanding. Now look, what am I trying to do? Close this. If I keep my cursor here, how many ports we got? Physical, 3 ports, gigabit 00012, right? And one logical port VLAN. But VLAN is normally on the switch, not on the router. But because this is a modular router, which means what? Look at this. I can insert my 4 fingers inside, or I can insert a WIC WAN interface card. Alternatively, I can cover it because dust is going in these two modules. Can you read this? NIM, NM1, NM2, network module 1, network module 2. I know it's very small, right? Very tiny. But look, I cannot, I want to add a cover here. I can't. It says turn off your power. Okay. So let me turn off the power. Okay. Powered off the router, which obviously in the real company or production networks, we don't after configurations, right? And I want to, if I want to get, okay, so I put this NIM cover. See, look at the bottom right. So I can drag this. Okay, now dust will not go inside. If I don't want this, I can drag and remove this, right? Does it go? Does it go? Let me check. Does it go? It should go away, man. Okay, I got it down. Sometimes I drag it to the left, it goes away. Anyway, I don't want to cover it. Look, what is this? This is NIM cover, right? So dust will not go in. This is two serial port. I don't want the serial ports, old ones, right? This one was by default selected. So we had here down below 2T. But then I clicked on cover. So here came the cover. It says this is the cover, right? You can protect this modules. Okay, now I want, so look at what is, I clicked here. Network interface module, Ethernet switch 2 to 4 ports. So look at the bottom, things are changing here. So now look at the right bottom. We have 4 Ethernet ports. If I want, I can drag it here, right? Now we added more ports. Let me turn on the power, right? So it's booting up. Did I turn on the power? It should boot up again. No, it didn't work. I have to click here. Okay, now it's green. So it should boot up. Okay, good. I'll close this. Now look, we have more ports. See that difference? Gigabit 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 2 were already there, the top three. And the VLAN one in the
Right.
bottom was there. Now we added more 4 Ethernet ports. So it's like a mini switch module. See, therefore the VLAN comes. Because it's a mini switch, 4 ports or 7 ports, right? It's a mini switch. It's 4-port module. It's like a mini switch we added there with 4 ports. So for that, for loop avoidance, it requires all these ports are in VLAN 1, right? Forget loop avoidance. All these 4 ports belong to VLAN 1 by default. So, and I'll explain you all these things later on when we get into switching actually, not here. So ignore that VLAN 1 here, okay? But did you see we added 4 more ports and it's slot number 1. So in between the brackets, 2 brackets, now we have, sorry, let me just keep my cursor here. Look at this. Do you see that 4th port, gigabit 0/1/0, gigabit 0/1/1, gigabit 0/1/2, all these remaining ports, right? Gigabit 0/1/3. So these 4 ports are actually in slot number 1. Do you see, understand this slot port, Panda? Do you understand this? These 4 ports we added in network module 1, so slot number 1. Therefore, it is telling you like that. Again, let me turn off the power. Let me remove it from there. Does it go away? Okay, I'll put it back here. Okay, and I'll now put it in module number 2, right? And let me turn on the power. And now it again will boot up. Okay, let me close this. Now check. We have added, we have added, I added 2 serial ports by mistake, right? I don't want that serial ports. But you get the thing. I want to add not the serial ports, and I can remove it because the power is on. So zoom in, turn off this green thing, click here, gone, and I'll remove this now. I don't want this, but I wanted to add this ES2, 2 to 4, right? 2 to 4 Ethernet ports. Okay, this I will drag and drop it and keep it, and now turn on the power. It should be booting up. I'll close this. Now let's go and check. See the difference. Now we already had the about top 3 gigabit 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. Now look at this. In between the 2 slash, it is 2. So we added port number 00, but in slot number 2. But the command syntax will be interface gigabit 0/2/0, 0/2/1. Got it? Do you understand this? Slot port. 4 ports are in now module number, network module number 2. And the initial 3, they came from the factory only, right? They were in slot number 0, it says, because the in between one is 0. Yes, guys,
Yeah, got
understanding?
it. Yes,
Isn't
yes.
it? Yeah. So this way. Sorry, which one did I open? Okay. So I wanted to explain you the slot and ports. So now we have 4 more ports added in the
For the
module
default
number 2.
from the factory.
Sorry.
So for
From
the
the
default for the factory, it is 0/0/0.
yeah, correct. So that means from the factory, these These ports are in slot 0. These 3 gigabit Ethernet. Got it? This is slot number 1. This is slot number 2. Okay? So, chalo, this part you have understood. So, there should not be any confusion. Correct? And now, so it booted from here. Okay. So, for your convenience, I delete this again. And again take a brand new router. That means one more. And immediately click on it. And we'll go on the CLI. It's booting up. So it begins from here. Initializing hardware, right? Okay, don't worry. Everything we are not going to look at, not necessary to understand each and every word and line. Okay, but I'll tell you what is important from our course right now. Okay, so finally it is landed here. Dash 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 system configuration dialog. Would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? Yes or no? So I told you we say no and come to the user mode, correct? But this is where it booted. Initializing hardware. Okay, checking blah blah blah. Not everything is important, don't worry. So what here it is doing is, okay, this is a Cisco integrated services router. Model is or series number is 4331. K9 is the security OS operating system, right? And it has got this much of kilobytes of memory, right? Must be RAM or whatever, okay, or whatever, some memory. And what more? Okay, what it was doing here is it was actually, I told you that the router has got several components. What are they? I'll explain in detail later on. Some memories, RAM and read-only memory and flash memory. And when you buy a router, it's iOS. That means Internet Operating System, right? Is stored where? Inside the flash. So it was actually picking up this file from here and loading it there when it's showed like this, during the booting up sequence. Did you see that? And we have more components here. NVRAM and CPU and motherboard and interfaces or ports, whatever you call it. Faces or ports, whatever you call it. So these are the internal components of any router or switch. Got it? And when a router boots up, I'll give you more details later on. What does it do? It does first post. That means power on self-test, which means it does its hardware check first. All my internal components like my kidney, liver, heart, everything working. Okay, guys, right? Imagine I'm just running my hand just to check imaginary or my heart or my kidney or my whatever, right? Stomach.
What is
Okay,
the full form for post you mentioned?
power on self-test.
Okay.
Okay, power on self-test. That means it's checking all its internal hardware components. If everything is okay, secondly, what does it want? It wants the Inter-network operating system. So that it pulls from the flash into the RAM and loads the file there. Got it? Yes, automatically. And more details I'll give later. Once these two things are done, it requires what? It requires user-defined configurations. Okay. So on a new router or on a factory default router, we have no user-defined configurations. That means hostname by default is router for a router. It is not R1. When it is R1, it is user-defined configurations. Got it? And more details I'll give you later on, right? So once it gets all the three, your router is booted up. That's it. And running up, right? So you can start configuring or viewing your commands. Nothing to worry. Okay. So I give you some idea about the booting up sequence and components. Rough idea. Here it was picking up the IS file from the flash and loading it in the RAM. Okay. Before that, it must have done already the hardware check, right? Look, on hardware check, it's doing all these things. Okay. Okay. And after that, blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you that everything is not important. Don't worry. Cisco Systems Incorporation. Oh, guys, one sec. It's raining here today, unexpectedly. And winds are blowing very fast. It's coming on my desktop disk. Okay, thank you. So, San Jose, California. Okay. And this is the Cisco IS software. It's Linux based. IS version is 16 point blah blah blah. Okay, technical support, copyright, blah blah. I don't care about other things. Cisco IS XE, blah 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 blah. I don't care. Right. And this product is blah blah blah. Cryptography, US law, country, blah blah. I don't care. Summary of US law, blah 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 blah. Are not important for us in this course. Okay. Now this is a Cisco. This router K9 must be the security version of the OS. And okay, it's the OS, right? And this is your RAM. So many kilobytes of RAM. Okay, this is your RAM memory. This is your DRAM memory, which means what? Total together is becomes the RAM memory. DRAM means when the router keeps holds certain packets on the buffer, if it doesn't get the bandwidth to forward it for some milliseconds or microsecond. This is that memory of the interface where it will hold certain packets if required. Sorry, if there's congestion for milliseconds and microseconds, it may even drop it. But this together is the RAM memory. It's in kilobytes, right? Whatever. And look, it has got 3 physical gigabit Ethernet interfaces or ports. And this is the NVRAM memory. So many kilobytes, right? And this is your flash memory. So many kilobytes, whatever. And dash, 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 system configuration dialog. Now look, we say, would you like to enter initial configuration dialog? We say no here in the real life and we get ahead. Now this I have shown you again and again, and everybody should be comfortable with this, right? And show run. Look, these are the default commands already coming from the factory. None of the ports are enabled. There is no IP address and all these are default. Okay. So far so good. Yes or no? यहाँ तक सब ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
We have only 5 minutes left. Okay. So now what? So I'll explain you all these commands one by one by one. Host name is router by default. Okay, I told you this again and again. Now, look at this. If I type here disable, I go back to user mode. If I type here exit, I go back out, right? Again, user mode, enable. And if I type here, what did I show you? Disable. But if I type here exit directly, I'll not go on the user mode, even beyond the user mode, directly out, right? Out of the console only. Okay. But look, this, let's say, imagine we have only 4 minutes. And guys, before I forget to tell you, I'm extremely sorry, but due to some family constraints, tomorrow and day after, I won't be able to take the class as I will be traveling. But on Friday, we'll meet. Is that okay? Neeraj, Aditya, Karthik, and everybody will be listening to the recording
Yeah.
later on, right?
Yeah.
So today
For
is
Thursday, you are
Tuesday.
saying.
Yeah, today is Tuesday, 6th. Wednesday, Thursday, tomorrow and day after, I won't be able to take the class. Sorry for that, but I'll meet you on Friday 9th. Is that okay, guys? Please note it. Yeah, I'll put it on WhatsApp group also. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, noted, sir. Fine.
Okay. Thanks. So where am I? What was I telling? Enable
You were showing show run command when
show run command. I have showed you that multiple times. Right, Shoran, we know now everything. Okay. And I will give you, yeah. Now look, what I was telling is I have this, let's say table. I'm sitting on a desk here with my laptop on it. Imagine I got a physical router, right? Imagine I got a physical router and I got a laptop and I got a cable. I'm going to connect it and I want to configure this router. So therefore I'm here. But console port is open. I don't want any Tom, Dick, and Harry getting his laptop and this cable and connecting the laptop to his this router and start configuring it. So I need security. I need security. I don't want any Tom, Dick, and Harry in my absence coming here, connecting. Where's the console port? Here. Connecting a cable with the laptop and start turning on this router, power on, and start configuring or viewing my commands. I don't want it. I want with more security, right? So what do? I will go on the global mode, configure terminal, and I'll say line console con tab 0. Now at the line mode, I am giving password to these console ports. You get it? I'm making it secure. What do I do? Password. I want to make it very simple, CCNA. And now look, if I press here and if I type here exit, it will go back to global mode, one step back. Again exit, again it will take me there. But if I press here Control Z, straight away it will take me to 2 steps back to privilege mode. Exit, 1 step back. Again exit, then again 1 step back. But end or Control Z, straight away 2 steps back. So I could have typed here end also, but I just press Control Z. समझ में आ रहा है दोस्तों? Understanding?
So there is no standardization for the password, like 4 letter is okay for the password.
In real life,
Four
you know what
characters.
it will be. It will be minimum 12 characters, if not 18 characters, and
Yeah,
it has
that
to
is
be a
what I
combination of this and that.
discussed.
These are software, right?
That
This
is
is a
what.
demo. Okay. Just a demo. So I'm just keeping
No,
it
no, I
very
was just
simple.
asking
Yeah.
because here it is accepting. So
Ah,
for that.
but I think on the routers, it will tell you something, right? It may that minimum this much
Okay.
characters and that much characters. Please, please,
Okay.
please. Okay. You get the point, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Here it's taking it, right?
Hmm.
This is only software.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what did I say? Look, exit. So look, no, it's not. Did I give a password to the console port? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
yes,
did.
it was there.
But it's not asking me. See, it should have asked for a password here before this user mode only. That's because I have to go there and say line console 0. I have given the password. I should have said login. Now Control Z, exit. See, CCNA. I typed it. Don't tell me the password keyboard is not working. I have typed it. Okay. So anybody doing it for the
Can you
first time?
show it again?
What? Look at this.
The thing that you mentioned.
Yeah, see, I'm
Yes.
typing now here. CCNA. It doesn't show you anything there, but I have given the password. So anybody who's new to this, don't, when you type C, it doesn't show you anything. Don't think your keyboard is not working or that C. You get my point?
Right, right.
Okay. It won't show you there because anybody is standing behind my shoulder. Why should it show even 4 dots? Got it?
Mhm.
So
Got it.
something like this. Now look, show, run. Space, space, space. Now do you see this? Now what's going to happen? Look at this. I told you this. Now somebody is trying to enter, connect the cable to the console port and trying to get access to the router. Will you get it without the password? No. It's secured now, right? Now I am typing CCNA. Only we guys know it, what it is. Okay. So understood this console port, how you secure it? Okay.
The first time when you were putting the password, it was not asking the
That
password.
is
But then
because
you mentioned something
I
in a
mentioned
way that
login. I give this one. I gave this one and again took you back there and showed you, see, still it's not asking. But did we give the password? We had given it. But what we had not typed is login. So actually in one shot
login.
only, I should have typed from the global mode, line con 0 and password system and login. That's it. You get my point? समझ में आ रहा है ना? So and
Lot of
then
things.
I will continue with more commands on Friday.
Friday.
And then thereafter. Okay. Good night. Take care. Bye-bye.